Let's do this. The Cult Hockey Podcast by the Faithful and for the Faithful. I'm David Staples of the Edmonton Journal. And I'm here tonight with Bruce McCurdy. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, David. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Didn't love the game. Happy enough with the outcome, I guess.
Well, it was a weird game. The Oilers won
sure
4-3. But the grade A shots were 18-6 for Edmonton.
Mm-hmm.
And the 5 alarm shots, Bruce, the more dangerous shots, were 8-1. Chicago only had one really dangerous shot all game long.
Wow.
So, weird game.
That was the Foligno one off the backboards, was it?
Correct. That was.
Even that was from an angle and, kind of a broken play.
Yeah, you might. We'll get into it. We'll get into it a little bit. Bruce, 2 good things, 2 bad things, and 2 numbers. What is your good thing?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the offensive play of one Ty Emberson, who was involved in 5 grade A shots by the Edmonton Oilers in this game, and a couple of real nice plays in there, David. He made jumped on into the rush and joined what became an odd man rush. It was 2-on-1. It might even have been a third Oiler before there was another Hawk in the play. And Emberson, I thought, correctly made the decision not to try to pass it through the defenseman, but he fired a shot that cleanly beat the goalie, but hit the post. That was the first. That was the first one of the game, and then he had another play where he jumped right in close to the net and shoveled a backhand into on goal. That could have gone in. The post one, I mean, I thought he was going to get his first goal as an Oiler there. And then he did earn an assist on the 3-2 goal, just with a more simple Californian type shot from outside that Adam Henrique tipped into the cage. And then two more plays. Again, an outside shot that I think produced a rebound in the third period is the one I'm remembering. And Emberson was just so involved in the offense tonight, I can't even remember them all. I got 4 out of the 5, though. Oh. What's going on?
Oh, I know what's going on.
There you are.
Okay. We'll just continue on, Bruce.
All right,
that was me. That was the cough button.
Oh, okay.
That was on. So we're having a little mic trouble at my end, plus coughing trouble ongoing. Bruce, that was Emberson's his second grade A shot all year long. Tonight's grade A shot. He only had 1.
2, right?
Did he have 2 tonight? Okay.
Yeah, he had one way back. One he hit the post, and one where he shoveled a backhand on goal. Both in the first period.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So he was Edmonton's marauding blue liner tonight, showing Evan Bouchard how it's done.
And he had 5 major contributions to grade A shots tonight.
Yeah.
All year long before this, he had 27.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I've noticed with him lately is an increased willingness to try to make a play, to make a really good play on the attack rather than just make the rope play or a safe play. I see a player gaining in confidence. I think I mentioned it a couple podcasts ago. And we saw it tonight.
I believe.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Step it up. He looks like he can move the puck. And listen, I know they brought in Josh Brown for a reason, for some toughness, but when they have all 6 defensemen, Bruce, who can really move the puck, I like that a lot. That really works for me. I just think it makes a difference in the team and the rhythm of the game and how things unfold. Stetcher, I thought, was good tonight, and Emberson was really good. So I like it even when those bottom pairing guys can move the puck. And I know they might need more size against some teams, but if they do bring in another D-man, it's got to be someone who can move the puck. You can't have someone in the playoffs who can't move the puck, as they learned 2 seasons in a row with Vinny DeHarnay, who was really good in other aspects of the game. But man, when the chips were down, he could not move the puck. and that's why they had to move him out. So, yeah, Emberson's getting the job done, as I thought did Troy Stetcher. Bruce, my good thing. I'm going to take the first goal by, as Louis DeBrusk kept calling it, the number one line, which I thought was interesting, called the Draisaitl line. And I think he was calling it that. I don't think it was mistaken. He was calling the Draisaitl line the number one line. Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson over Hyman, RNH, and Connor McDavid. And they have been playing like a number one line. And speaking of getting confidence, Vasily Podkolzin is on the list on the particular play in question. Chicago's up 2-0, and it's looking a little bit grim. Even though Chicago's scored on its only 2 grade A shots of the first period.
Yeah.
But Darnell Nurse, the puck's coming up into the Edmonton end, and Darnell Nurse gets it and bats it back towards the Chicago, and a nice play by him. Then there is an absolutely fantastic passing play where Leon Draisaitl, I think he's trying to set up Arvidsson at the side of the net. Draisaitl rushes it in, and he puts it to Arvidsson, who just barely reaches and gets it, but he can't get a shot off, so he goes behind the net. And as he's off balance, he throws the puck up front to Podkolzin, who slams it in. We don't have this as a one-timer. Maybe that was a one-timer. I'll have to look at it again. So that was an incredible play. Just
I had
incredible
it as a
skill.
one-timer in my notes.
All right,
he just ripped it right. He kind of, like, maybe he held it on his stick for like a tick, because he kind of chose which corner to shoot it in, because he had kind of options there. It came to him right in front, but he let it go fast. Once he decided, he picked his spot and boom. He didn't waste a whole lot of time going about it.
If he keeps getting chances like that, I mean, what has he got now? 6 goals? So was that his 6th? So, yeah, like as I was saying, I think he's got to get to hang on that line, 15 goals. Fifth. To hang on that line, I think 15 goals would be about what you'd need. But he's doing it. Like, he's starting to get on that pace. He's picking it up. And I've been since Arvidsson came back from injury, I've been really impressed with him. He's been making plays all over the ice, and he's a really good hockey player. And Leon Draisaitl's the best player in the NHL right now. So just a fabulous goal to get the Oilers right back in the game. What's your bad thing, Bruce?
Yeah, you kind of got the market cornered on the goals against with the way you're going, and we can talk about all of them and when it's your turn.
We'll talk amongst ourselves.
I'm going to. I have a short memory, and my memory is of the last minute of the third period when Oilers had the lead and seemed to be nicely in the process of playing out the clock, and Matthias Janmark got a chance to break out of his own zone with the puck, which he did safely, got out towards the neutral zone. He won a battle against the guy, and the Chicago guy just kind of chopped the stick right out of his hands, And that's a penalty. That's a penalty. But
so is tripping Connor McDavid.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Just a minute before then.
Mr. Referee decided that well, that's what people came to see, I guess. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. And then about 5 seconds later, there was a little come together on the boards, and Adam Henrique's stick allegedly came up on Tyler Bertuzzi, who's one of the best high stick sellers there is, in terms of doing the old Pepe Lemieux, face dive. He throws his face back. I'm not sure there was any contact there or not. But it was at a point where I thought, Mr. Referee, if you let that sort of take away an empty net goal slash away from Chicago, to call a marginal penalty on Edmonton 5 seconds later is pretty dicey. Now, it was the first and only penalty Edmonton had to kill in this game. There was only 2 power plays in the game. Edmonton got a 5-on-4 for exactly a minute and scored the winner. And Chicago got the 6-on-4 for 53 seconds and peppered a few shots on net, at least 3 shots in the last The whole minute was spent with the puck in Edmonton territory, and it was, uh, things got pretty dicey there, and to close out the game. And I thought that was like just some pretty classic NHL caliber game management. And I guess if you want to make it exciting to the final buzzer, they succeeded. If you want to call what you see and call it fairly, I'm not sure. I'm biased, I'll grant you, but I didn't think that the two calls together were very legit.
Well, starting with the McDavid call, like a minute or
before
two earlier, non-call where he gets hauled down to the
two
ice,
guys
and
take him
he
down,
goes
yeah.
feet first in the boards. Fortunately, he wasn't hurt. But come on, that was a penalty as well. That's where it started, the game management, and then it got worse.
Fair enough. Yeah, my wife was even mad about that one. I tend to get madder at the refs than she does for some reason. But she was kind of going, she'll just say haul down or hooked, but she won't really get in on the ref. She'll just call the penalty that he didn't call.
I see.
And she sure called that one. She was going, come on, ref, Anyway.
You have a finely honed sense of justice, Bruce. So
That's how I see it.
Yeah. All right. My bad thing. Okay. 6 grade A shots, 3 goals against. And all the goals were on grade A shots, Bruce. They were all good shots. But on every one of them, Pickard was, I don't know, he just seemed out to sea. Generally back in his net and out of position. So the first goal was a fairly tough play. The Chicago player has it on the boards and passes in the middle for a quick shot, but the player on the boards wasn't in a shooting position. He wasn't facing the goalie. He was clearly going to pass the puck. There was no, in reading the play, that was the play. Mm-hmm. It was obvious, and Pickard is just hugging the post right back on his goal line, as this guy's not even, and he passes it over, and there's an immediate shot and score. If he had just been out, covering the guy on the boards, like cutting down the angle, he could have moved over and been in position to stop that shot. And because he was just on the goal line and again against the post, it beat him as he tried to get into the play. The second goal was an outside shot. That was the weird hard rebound. But again, like he's just way out of position on the hard rebound to the goal scorer, Foligno. He's not even close to making the play. Yeah. He is a smart goalie. And when he is reading the play well, he can make up for his lack of height and athleticism by solid kind of squaring up to the puck in a smart way. And he can have good games, but this was not one of them. He was the only reason, in my view. Like all of those shots, I would one goal maybe on those 3 grade A shots, but 3. The last one, he's looking through the wrong way on a screen, and there's a turnaround shot, and again, he's way by the post, back on his line, looking the wrong way through a screen, and then he's got to kind of try to stumble over as there's a shot from the slot, and he just doesn't even come close, because
that was a wicked shot. That one.
It was a wicked shot, but he's handicapped by his height. Like a taller goalie would just look over those kind of screens, so he's got to look around it. If he looks around the wrong way, there can be a goal scored, and there is, and it's a save many NHL goalies would make because they're bigger, and it's a tough thing for a smaller goalie, but it's why there are not that many small goalies in the NHL. And yeah, I didn't think he had a very good game, although he did come up. He made some big saves, and he stopped all the pucks in the last minute. That goes to his credit in the game, so I'll give him that.
Well, he stopped 3 grade A shots all game, right? And 2 of them were in the last minute, 4v6.
Yeah.
And he won, I thought, 2 battles in the blue paint where not only he make the save, but equally or more important, he was able to find the puck and grab it and freeze it for the face-off, because that was things got pretty tense there around there, and he held his head in that situation. Honestly, Dave, in the first period, I didn't think he even looked like an NHL goaltender.
Really?
Like the two goals were like he wasn't set. And he wasn't like he didn't seem to read the play or see what was coming. I mean, the Teravainen shot. I mean, it was a one timer from the slot, but it was kind of right along the ice and it went right through him because he was moving off of his post sideways, very very deep in his net, and he didn't have like good. He wasn't set for the shot, certainly not,
Yeah.
and it just kind of sifted right through him. And then the one off the boards, like that's a tricky play, but again, he wasn't set. His feet weren't set on the near side, and he left a hole, and Foligno was able to bank it off of him and in. I believe is how it. I think he got a little tiny piece of it, but there was a hole there, and just that was not a good period of hockey from the netminder. And then after that, Chicago didn't get a whole lot, but like I say, he's going to redeem himself somewhat in the player grades by his strong performance in the last minute with the game on the line, and I value that a lot. So that'll bring him up a bit, but boy, oh boy, that was a bit of an adventure between the pipes tonight.
Yeah. When he's confident, he's kind of ahead of the game and ahead of the shooters, ahead of the play, and cutting down the angles a bit. And didn't see that tonight. Bruce, what's your
Oh, not
number?
really. Yeah, my number is I got two numbers, David. They're 1 and -4. And these are the results from tonight's uh, fabled, what they call it, Clash of the Connors. Clash of the Connors. Let's go through these stats now. Okay, on the visiting team we have Connor McDavid, superstar. No points, -2, one shot on net, and 3 that missed the net. And then on the other side of the marquee, we have Connor Bedard, recent #1 draft choice and defending, well, not defending because you cannot defend the Calder Trophy, but he is the current Calder Trophy holder. And Connor Bedard came into this game on a 9-game point streak, and he had no points, -2, and no shots. So between the two of them, these the big stars on each team, one shot, and each was -2. And I thought kind of earned -2 on McDavid's case. I mean, he did set
Yeah.
up. He did set up some chances. I'll say that none of them went in the net. But his own shooting was off. He just missed the post a couple times, and it was not a great game for either Connor. Connor Brown, on the other hand, he was only -1 and he had one shot. So maybe he won the battle of the Connors. It was yeah. Anyway, this was a game. I think Oilers paid the price tonight, and hopefully they don't have to keep paying it with this real tough slate coming up next week for Knobloch pushing pedal to the metal in Pittsburgh the other night and playing McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, Ekholm 27 minutes each in a game that was, essentially lost in the first period. And they just kept pushing, trying to come back. And I just thought it was, the more I thought about that game, I thought, what the hell are you doing? Like, let it go. You're going to lose some games. Just roll your 4 lines and on to the next one. Don't kill your guy. I mean, even if they had come back, they'd still be tired. And of course, they didn't come back. And now you got a loss and you got tired stars. And I thought that they both, the forwards in particular, looked just a little bit out of sync tonight. Some of the clean handles of the puck that you come to expect from them, they weren't really happening. And one result was not the prettiest of games, but another result, which is a positive thing, is that this game was won by committee. And good on the Oilers for depth players for coming up and chipping in with some of the offense that they badly needed.
Yeah, that was a nice goal by Corey Perry, cutting into the slot hard like that and slamming it in.
Mm-hmm.
McDavid was
great play by Kapanen on that goal.
Yeah, that's true too.
A great 2 plays on Kapanen on that goal.
We tagged McDavid on the first 2 goals, by the way. Like he
Mhm.
not only was on the ice, he made mistakes that led to the goals against. He was part of the large crew of players who did so. Um,
All 6 on the first goal, eh? That doesn't happen too
yeah, that
often.
doesn't happen. Yeah, Nurse screening. Oh no, just wait. I think we got Nurse down here twice, so he made 2 mistakes. Maybe
Oh,
there's
really?
someone. Yeah, we
Oh,
have
yeah.
Nurse down
Oh,
here twice.
oh, okay. All right.
So
That's
5 of the 6 of
5 of the 6.
the players on the
All right.
ice. We
Nuge is
didn't
off the
tag
hook. Yeah, I was
Nuge.
watching the replay on that one. I'm not sure, quite sure what
Yeah,
Nuge did, but
yeah, he didn't do anything wrong.
all right.
Kulak turned it over. Nurse
Oh,
allowed,
did he ever?
yeah, Nurse allowed a shot. Hyman allowed a pass. McDavid allowed an outside shot, and Pickard was out of position in net. All right, Bruce, my number's also around McDavid. He's been shut out for points in 3 of the last 5 games, which is highly unusual for Connor McDavid. So I was wondering, like, okay, is he in a slump? Well, tonight he was in on 7 grade A shots. He made
Mm-hmm.
significant contributions to 7 grade A shots. So you'd expect a point or two. Over the course of the 5 games where he has 4 points, um, he's been involved in 39 grade A shots, Bruce. Major contributions to 39 grade. So Connor McDavid, his rate when he makes a contribution to a grade A shot, a quarter of the time it ends up as a point. So you would normally expect in those 5 games, based on that
10
offensive
points.
contribution, 10 points. So he's got 4. He's not in a slump. He's not. I don't even think he's playing that bad. He was not good in the first period. I agree with you. But 10 point. If he was on his regular kind of trajectory, he would have had 10 points in those games, not 4. So it's just over a small sample size.
Yeah.
Points can be
Yeah.
misleading in terms of, like, over a full season, they're generally pretty good. In terms of trying to have a proxy for offensive talent, points is a pretty good statistic, actually. It's a very old one as well. It's
Yeah.
as old as the league itself. And it's always identified, I think, fairly accurately over a full season who really are the top offensive players and who are the weakest offensive players. But over 4 or 5 games, no. You might deserve 10 or 11 or 12 points and you only get 4. And I think that's what we're seeing with McDavid.
Yeah. Well, maybe next game he'll only earn 4 points and he'll get 10.
That'd be that'd be nice. That'd be very nice. McDavid never he's I don't like he doesn't have that Gretzky hunger to get that 5-6 point game, I don't find. Like,
Yeah. No.
Gretzky never let up. He'd
No.
have 4 points and he'd want 5 or 6.
Uh-huh.
McDavid, no, he gets 3 points in a game and
Uh-huh.
it shuts her down. He's a little bit different beast than Wayne Gretzky in terms of his mentality, but
Uh-huh.
both the greatest point scorers of their era. So we're lucky to
Yeah.
have him.
Gretzky, he wouldn't let up when he would be going hard for points right to the end of games, and that was his driving uh, mandate. That's how he played. He played to
Yep.
score, and if the other team showed signs of weakness, he would exploit it.
So, Bruce, the Oilers are next Monday night against LA.
Yep,
Is
2
that
nights
correct?
from now. Yeah, it's a 1-game homestand, cleverly disguised as a home game, and in the middle of what's really an 8-game road trip in 8 different cities. And so I get to go to that game. I'm a little apprehensive about it, to be honest. Kings are good, and Oilers are not quite on top of their game. And the slate's tough now. Next week is wicked. LA on Monday, Minnesota Wednesday. That'll be Pickard's game, is my bet. Colorado Thursday, Vancouver on Saturday, Hockey Day in Canada.
Wow. Well, if they can
And
split those games, that'll be good. If they can get more
yeah,
than 4 points, that'll be great. Considering
well,
how much hockey they've been playing, is what I would
yeah,
say.
yeah.
All right, Bruce. Well, let's leave it there tonight. Thanks for talking.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone.
And in the meantime, and in between times, this has been another edition of the Cult of Hockey podcast.